Hey guys, hope everybody's doing awesome. I am going to jump into your group so that I can see your questions. I am Jennifer Hofstetler. Thank you so much for having me in your group tonight. I am going to give you hopefully some nuggets of information that you guys can keep in your pocket and will help you for this winter. So as you hop on here, just say hello. And I will be able to see, mute myself, there we go. All right, let's get started. So a little bit about me is I am one of your uplines. So thank you so much for having me here, Jennifer. Thank you so much for inviting me. I have the honor of being one of your platinum leaders, and we have been using Young Living for 5 years now. Or close to 5 years. Me is I have 3 small kids. They're in the bathtub right now, so if you hear them, that's where they are right now. My husband is watching them, and he is the worship pastor at our church in Belmont. And then we are, I'm a former nurse. I retired from nursing to do Young Living full time, and it's been close to 3 years now. And I absolutely love Young Living. I love the freedom with Young Living. I love the freedom with my family. I love the resources of having their products in my home. It is very important to have what you need before you need it. I mean, I give the scenario, one time my son took some medicine of my mom's, and they said, Poison Control said, hey, do you have any activated charcoal? I didn't. Well, I could have saved myself like $300 for an ER visit if I just would have had the activated charcoal in my house. So guess what I keep in my house? Activated charcoal pills. Because, I mean, there's just some things that you can just go ahead and get. And I'm going to be talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those tonight. So let's talk a little bit about gut health. My goodness, flu is running rampant, just all kinds of, flu, yes, but, kids are having difficulty in school focusing. I'm having, parents come to me saying my kid has sensory issues. What do I do? And so really it boils down to whatever we put in is what we're going to get out, right? So we are what we eat. We are what we put in. So whatever we are putting in. So if we're constantly putting in processed foods that come in boxes, then that's what we're going to get out. Our system is not made to process all of that. So if you have heard of the gut-brain connection, there are books galore, podcasts, all kinds of studies and information out there on gut-brain health, and it is huge. And just to break it down to the simple, so imagine that you have, I don't have with me a bucket, but imagine that you have a bucket, and imagine in that bucket you are dumping toxins in there every time you use Mr. Bubble, isn't that what it was called? Every time that you use any type of Dawn liquid soap or Gain detergent or All Free and Clear or any of those, or even the detergent that's in your dishwasher contains formaldehyde, which just absolutely blows my mind. And if you haven't watched the documentary Stink, that's really eye-opening with like our clothes and kids' pajamas. And I know it can go a little extreme. And some people can throw up their hands and say, well, I just give up. Everything causes cancer and everything causes ADHD and I just give up. Well, come on. We really have resources where we can stop it at the gate of our home. And so being the gatekeeper of our home, we can supply our families with organic food. And I will tell you, people complain about organic being very expensive, but I'm here to tell you, our grocery budget is the same as it was before we made the switch to organic. I don't buy processed foods. I'm not buying Chef Boyardee. I'm not buying Kraft mac and cheese. So I'm not buying those things that are in the center of the store. We're eating the things that are on the outside of the store. We do organic fruit cups and things like that. And my goodness, you can have it shipped to your door. Amazon Prime. Hello, who loves Amazon Prime? So Young Living makes it that simple for us to get amazing organic products into our home and shipped directly to our door. If you guys have not heard of Essential Rewards, which I'm 100% sure you have, Essential Rewards is an amazing program, and I don't even shop at Target anymore because the 5% back on the red card is a drop in the bucket compared to what Young Living gives us with the percentage they give us back, with the free products, with the Wild Go, which is like your Amazon Prime shipping. So I know that I pay yearly for my Amazon Prime, so I pay yearly for my Wild Go, and it is amazing to be able to have that box that I can customize just like my Prime Pantry and have it shipped to my door. So let me tell you some things that you need to put in that box, and you must have these items in your home before you need them, and you need to be consistent with them. Consistency is key. So we just took a Disney cruise, and it's really, kind of tough to stay organic when you're on that type of situation, which is fine. Like, there are extenuating circumstances, but I will tell you that I took what I needed with me because, number one, we were going to be in the middle of the ocean with no resources. And I took packets of Ningxia Red with me. I took a whole case, 30 packets, and we drank all of them except for about, 10 of them. I was handing them out like crazy because, number one, what were they doing? They were feeding their bodies sugar. We were feeding our bodies sugar. I'm not going to lie. I ate the Mickey bars. And my kids were eating the all-you-can-have ice cream. So they're pouring, think about that toxic bucket. They're pouring the sugar in there. They're pouring the sugar. So toxins that we put in our bucket are things that we eat, things that we put on our body, and then our thoughts, so bad thoughts, and any traumas that we have. So anytime that bucket gets super duper, when that bucket gets full and overflowing, that's when we have symptoms. That's when we have brain fog. That's when we have headaches. That's when we start with all of the issues, okay, in the mind, all the symptoms and things. So when that bucket is full. So in order to keep a handle on that bucket, we must monitor what's going in. And so, and I love that our oils help us clean ourselves and purify ourselves. And one of the biggest purifiers that I can recommend, and I'm going to speak from a mom standpoint and from a standpoint of this is for baby all the way up to death. Amazing for birth, breastfeeding, pregnant, all the way up until your deathbed. So this is an amazing drink. It's a high antioxidant drink, so full of high in auric value, which is basically what that means is it is really, really, really good at cleansing our cells. So this really helps reset the body. And I saw in here that Jennifer had posted one of the, his name just left me, but one of the doctors has what he calls the red drink, and it has this in it and a couple other ingredients, and he fills it all the way up with water and fills the other ingredients in it, and he drinks the bottle, not full of Ningxia Red, but some Ningxia Red in there. So save your bottle so that you can make the pink drink is what it is. Young Living's pink drink. There's absolutely a difference. But taking 2 ounces of this a day and being consistent with it is huge, huge, huge. And it is something that my kids beg for. If your kids aren't begging for it, then they are probably getting too much processed sugar. If you've ever done a detox, if you've ever done any kind of detox, we had to do a sugar detox with my daughter because she kept having a runny nose and it was not going away. And so we had to do the sugar detox with her. We had already gotten her off gluten and wheat because we know those are things that our body just doesn't process. And so sugar was the next thing. And she did great with it. And she's 5, okay? And getting that out of there so that her toxin bucket wasn't just overflowing, right? So Ningxia Red, we vamped up her Ningxia Red. And so anytime on the cruise ship, I had one with a runny nose and one that started with a cough. So what did I do? Ningxia Red, they got more than just that 1 packet a day. These cough drops, okay. I haven't even looked to see if these are in stock. Just keep your eyes peeled. I start ordering these. I order these once, 1 bag per ER order because these are good for more than just coughs, okay? I'm going to be a little non-compliant in here, so I hope that's okay. They're really good for sore throat. They're really good for bad breath. They're really good for anybody who has any kind of mouth problems, any kind of icky in there. They're amazing for if you feel like you're starting to get sick, if you feel like you just need that boost. So this is like Thieves in a cough drop. Get it? So my kids, they'll take them. And Thieves is pretty stout because of the cinnamon that's in it. But Thieves. If I were someone who was in the working force right now, I would constantly be having these. If these are out of stock, you can make them. You can find recipes online to make them. But grab up some Thieves cough drops. Thieves Roll On. I haven't opened this one yet, but this is a Thieves Roll On. Keep this with you. Swipe your kids on the way out the door. Give your teachers a diffuser. Oh my gosh, like get them a diffuser. Grab one off Amazon and tell them, I will supply you with Thieves. Do you mind if I supply you with Thieves? I would absolutely love that. And you will find that that teacher will say, oh my gosh, like we have hardly anyone sick in this classroom. So be that person and help that teacher out. She does not want flu. Okay, so I told you about Ningxia Red. I am going to tell you about MindWise. So MindWise, this right here has turmeric in it. If you don't know what that is, it's amazing. It has MCT oil, which is actually very good for the brain. So it's brain food. And I try to get as much brain food into my kids as possible. So like the healthy butter, coconut oil. We cook with coconut oil. We cooked with coconut oil tonight. I even put coconut cream in what I was making tonight. So MindWise is incredible. MindWise is something that has vitamin D in it as well. And I find that my kids will take it in the packets. They won't take it like this from a spoon. It tastes like mustard, but I probably tend to give them more in a spoon, and that's probably why. But this is amazing with what it has in it. Pomegranate, rhododendron leaf extract, and coenzyme Q10. So, of course, it's infused with essential oils as well. But it's for the mind, you guys. We need oil in the mind to keep it running and going good, right? So we need these good fats, and these good fats are in the MindWise. I promise you, you start taking Ningxia Red, you start taking MindWise, you start giving it to your kids, you're going to see a total difference, and you're going to feel the difference. And your kids are going to beg for it because they are going to feel the difference. So I can't stress enough, whatever you put in is what's going to be coming out. And that includes vaccines as well. So as a nurse, I decided early on that we would not vaccinate our kids. I saw way too many things working in the Children's Hospital in Charlotte, and I questioned way too much. And the doctors were like, nope, we don't need to document that. Nope, we don't need to pull those lot numbers. No, we don't report that. And I was like, oh gosh. So if you haven't seen the documentary Vaxxed, go educate yourself. My mom was kind of like, Jen, really? You're not going to vaccinate the kids? And I'm like, Mom, Dr. Axe doesn't vaccinate his kids. So once she realized, oh, okay, that there were other people out there not vaccinating, people are just taking a stand. People are educating themselves, and I encourage you to educate yourself. Don't look at someone like, what? Because they are taking a different stand on things. Look at them and say, okay, well, how did you come to that conclusion? What brought you there? Give me more information on that. So being that person who is open and open-minded, which if you're here, you're open-minded and you're open to new things. So one other thing that I really want to stress that is gut health. You have to have the good bugs hanging out in your gut because that is what processes everything that's hanging out down in there. And these are Mighty Pro. These are a pre and probiotic. And I'll be honest with you, we take them at night, and I take them too. So they also, Young Living also has Life 9, which I have in my refrigerator right now. And I give Life 9 to my dogs if they need it. Do not give this to your dog, okay? I don't like that there's a wolf on here because do not give it to your dog. It has xylitol in it, and we know that xylitol can plummet the blood sugars of dogs. So, Don't give this to your dog, but Life 9, which is a capsule, which was formulated for adults. However, I've used Life 9 with my kids before this came out. So, you cannot have too much prebiotic, okay? Just mark that down in your brain that you cannot have too much of this. This stuff is incredible for the gut. If you or your children are constantly staying sick, if you're constantly running in and out of the doctor's office, something has to change, and it has to change within the gut. What you're feeding them, what you're bringing in your house. If you're like, well, Jen, my kids just won't eat anything. You guys, I'm telling you, I have the pickiest kids on the planet. I was the pickiest child. And so I had to change my mindset, and I had to stop bringing it in my house. We don't buy juices. We don't buy anything like that. The only juice that they get is Nixture Red. That's it. And so on occasion, I will get organic Capri Suns, but it's just occasion. And I keep the sugar content low in our house. Like we just don't keep the junk in our house. So our budget for our groceries is not out there because, hey, if you're buying cereals and things like that, that can run your bill up definitely for your groceries. So Mighty Pro. Mighty Pro comes in these little sachet packets, so it's very easy to travel with. I have a pilot who she travels all over the world, and she's like, how can I take my probiotic, my Life 9? I know it needs to be refrigerated. Is it okay? And I'm like, oh, introduce yourself to Mighty Pro. Number one, it tastes like a pixie stick. So any kid that I have recommended this for their parents to get them on, even if they have sensory processing issues, even if they have texture issues, they love this. It's like pouring sugar down their mouth, but it's not sugar, because it has the xylitol in it. So it tastes amazing. Again, we do this every night before bedtime. And so, if you want to know what our routine looks like, in case you guys have kids, I don't know, I believe a good bit of you in here have kids, and so I will just talk from the standpoint of our everyday routine. So our everyday routine, when we wake up, my kids, my oldest, he likes the Thieves toothpaste. He got to the point where his breath was like, and so he needed a little bit more than that sleek, and he likes the Thieves toothpaste. He is almost 8, and so my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old, they use the Kid Sense toothpaste. Amazing toothpaste. If you have a sensitive mouth, try either the Kid Sense or the Thieves toothpaste. The wonderful thing about Young Living is that just because it was formulated for kids doesn't mean that only kids can take it. So even the Kid Sense oils are incredible for adults. So don't feel like they were just created for kids. So if a product is not working for you, the reason could be that your gut is sick. And so I don't care how many oils, I don't care how much Nixture Red you pour into your body. If you continue to eat processed foods, fast foods, boxed foods, you're not ever going to get above the ball game. And so changing your ways. And a lot of people have gone to the Whole30, which I think is a great concept. And, I think back, I'm like, why was Whole30 created? Because Whole30 is just eating like real food. And it's just, we are in that era of fast food and all of that. And don't get me wrong. I mean, we eat fast food, but you've got to stop the buck. If that's constantly what you're doing, and if it's not just a random treat to Chick-fil-A or something like that, and I'm not saying Chick-fil-A is like the best. You might see a naked baby in a minute. But you owe it to yourself. You are spending money. She wants some of those. You owe it to yourself. You are spending money every month with Young Living. You're buying oils. You're buying amazing products. You owe it to yourself to give it its best shot. And so I just encourage you to, don't come in front of the camera. They're all 3 naked. I encourage you to watch back. Go on a Whole30. Here, baby. They're all wanting their probiotic. Don't get in front of you. Get them. Here, Eli. Here's your probiotic. Not yet. We'll talk about it in a minute. So, in the morning, we do 2 ounces of Nixture Red. My son has gotten in the habit of putting Nixture Red in the freezer because he likes to have a Nixture Red pop. So he'll cut the top off of the little packet and then he'll drink that, and then he'll be begging me for Nixta Red 2 hours later, and I'm like, babe, you just had your Nixta Red. So we do this right out of the gate. Do you see how the sediment sits on the bottom? So you want to shake it every time because it's a puree. Puree, it's as if I actually juiced all of those fruits that are in there, which are amazing combination. You can even go to nixtared.com to read all about that. The Mindwise, a lot of times I will mix into their Nixta Red shots, and I just do, we have little colored glasses that I bought at home, and they get to choose their color, and that's what they take. At night, we do the Mighty Pro. So Young Living also has, you want another one? Young Living also has the Mighty Bites. I didn't pull those out of the cabinet, but the Mighty Bites and the Mighty Zymes. So the Mighty Bites are a multivitamin for kids. And if you're looking for a multivitamin for yourself, Master Formula is incredible. I also have a YouTube video on where to start with supplements and where to start with cleanses with Young Living. So I can post that in here if you guys want to take a look at that. It is one that you'll want to pull your notebook out and really take notes, because I really dive into a lot of the amazing supplements that Young Living has. So I hope this has helped you guys tonight. If you guys have any questions, you guys have, oh good, Jennifer's taking notes for me. If you guys have any questions, please pop them up. It really depends on, we normally take our vitamins at lunch. I homeschool, and so around lunchtime is when I'm like divvying out vitamins and enzymes. And so enzymes are what they need to be able to break down their food and absorb their food. If mine were to drink my, what am I talking about? Shakes. If they were to drink my protein shakes that I make, or even just any kind of shake, I would be putting some multigreens in there. But my kids, I'm still working on that. So, you know, again, if something doesn't work, try it again, try it again, try it again. And so, things that I feed my kids, like tonight they love, obviously she loves that, but they love sweet potatoes. And so I will buy even the sweet potato tots, sweet potato fries. So we use that as an alternative to French fries, sweet potatoes themselves, and I just put the butter in there. I use Amish butter when I can find it, and when I can't find it, I use Kerrygold butter, and that is that good fat that's in there, just like the good fats that's in the Mindwise. Okay, again, I buy these in packets because it's easier for them, and they'll suck it out. Of just the packet, and Emmy loves it. So, trying to catch your question. So, if I miss a question, I'll go back and look at it. But, trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to tell you guys tonight. I'm always available. I'm over at Empowered Life Oilers, so you guys can always ask on there as well. And thank you guys for having me.